Are you in your 40s feeling like life has passed you by? Tired of second guessing every decision because you think you're too old to change? Well, if that's you, my friend, stop right here because your life is far from over. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you why exactly now is the perfect time for you to reinvent yourself, build the future you want, and ditch that myth that 40 is too old for new beginnings. There are 4 things that you can change today to start over without having to upend your life. So I promise you, watch this video to the end because you do not want to miss a step. Change number 1, change about yourself. When you want to change and you make that decision and you know exactly what it is that you want to change about yourself, it provides you with a new purpose, a new direction, when you can clearly identify the areas for your change. All right. It just gives you this fuel because you know exactly what it is that you're targeting. All right. You're targeting what you really want to change about who you are. People who start over in their 40s often have this unique advantage due to life experiences, right? Because let's face it, if you're 40 and you haven't been through some shit, then you really haven't been living life. I'm just saying. And you start to prioritize, all right, because you've been through some things, what really matters to you. And you start to put your focus on that change that you decided that you want to do with your life. It's a different type of growth. Turning 40, it prompts you to evaluate your goals. And it's just like a meaningful change. I feel like it hits different when you're starting over in your 40s. What happens is that people start to compare themselves, right? They start to say to themselves like, dang, I'm 40 and I haven't even accomplished this yet. Or I'm 40 and I'm not married yet. I'm just saying. And you start to prioritize, all right, because you've been through some things, what really matters to you. And you start to put your focus on that change that you decided that you want to do with your life. When you have a clear identifying areas for change, you have a target towards it. It's just that simple, which will start to fuel you to act on achieving that change you want to make in your life. The benefits of being in your 40s and starting over and having this unique start is that you've been through some stuff in your life, right? You've learned from your past experiences. So once you know exactly what it is that you want to change, you know how to prioritize that and knowing that this is what truly matters for you, okay? And it's nothing greater than a sense of purpose and fulfillment when you know what matters and you know what direction you want to go towards, you know, what making that change. Turning 40 prompts you. It reevaluates your whole life, right? You start thinking about goals and everything else that you took for granted in your 30s or in your 20s even, because you was just living life, right? There are so many people that started over in their 40s, and especially after doing my research, it's like, what better time to reinvent yourself but now while you're in your 40s? You've been through stuff, you experienced things. If you were in relationships, you experienced heartbreak, exactly what you don't want to relive again when you was going through those heartaches and all of these disappointments in your life, and you just either in your 20s and your 30s just drinking and partying your life away because it happens. When you're 40, it's just like something clicks all of a sudden, right? That you want this change. And at some point, you just like, you know what? I'm tired of living how I used to live. It's time for me to reevaluate myself to know exactly what it is that I want to do now, right? And no more living in the fear of what people are going to think of you because you're starting over at 40. Who cares what people think? People face this all the time, all right? I can even tell you about me. Once I turned 40, it really didn't click for me. It was more or less like, I'm 40, what now, right? Didn't think of it. But I'm going to tell you something. When I turned 43, for me, it was, I can't keep living my life like this. I can't keep partying and thinking like you just having life just pass me by, because I'm gonna tell you, I feel like in my 20s and my 30s, I was just, life was just passing me by, right? I really didn't have no set goal that I had for myself. And if I did, I really wasn't identifying who I really was as a person and what really mattered to me, because I was too busy thinking about other things, partying, hanging out with my friends, and just living the life, not really taking care of things like I should have been, right? Until you get tired of living that same cycle. And it's like something clicks when you turn a certain age, right? And like I said, I'm 45 now. So it's for me, when I started to reevaluate myself at 43, I said, oh, I'm tired of living like this. There's something I need to do. And I had to sit down and say to myself, exactly what is it that you want? Who are you? Ask yourself those questions. Who are you? Because if you don't really know who you are, then you really can't make the decision of what it is that you want to change. I knew that I was tired of just living a life and letting it pass me by and feeling like I didn't have any purpose. Until one day I was like, I need to make a clear decision on what it is that I want to do with my life. Change number 2. This is a good one. Shed what's holding you back and fix the burden, okay? The reason why most of us are dragging our feet is because we're holding on to that baggage that's stopping us from moving forward, from reinventing ourselves. And this could be from anything, like things like bad relationships, your family members can greatly affect your mood from you even focusing. Shedding what's holding you back from reinventing yourself allows you to embrace new opportunities that align in your life and current values by letting go of limited beliefs, outdated habits, that negative perception, that preventing yourself from change and all of these things. You're too old to fulfill your dreams, whatever's stopping you and holding you back, weighing you down, past limitations, right? This could be something that you can overcome. Once you overcome these obstacles, you're able to move forward, right? Because you're letting go of the past, you're letting go of hurt, you're not holding any resentment that is going to stop you from moving forward, making up excuses because things has happened to you in the past and feeling like, you know what? I can't do this because I've tried this before in the past and it didn't work, right? But reframing your mind and your thoughts to positivity, it helps you along the way. But the first thing is to forgive yourself, right? And when you reinvent yourself, let's just be honest, not everybody is going to understand the new you. They're not going to understand it, right? And sometimes that could be those family members that you probably just need to leave behind and shed that burden until you fully come into terms into who you are, all right, as an individual on this journey. And then you can slowly, gradually let them back in. And sometimes you may not let them back in. It all depends. But whatever it is that's weighing you down, that you feel like can stop you from this new you, from reinventing yourself, then you have to let that go. You have to overcome those obstacles, make positive changes, build your self-esteem, build that confidence. Letting go of old patterns, it allows you to be more flexible and open to the new experience. Negative thinking has stopped a lot of people from actually achieving what it is that they wanted to in life because of old habits, old relationships that was just lingering on to them that they should have let go a long time ago. You know, there are people that are in their 40s that was scared to start over in a new relationship because of their past trauma, because of the hurt that they've been through. And they're feeling like, wow, 40 is old. I should be already married. I should be already accomplishing my things that I wanted to achieve already. But that's not true. I have a friend that got married in her 50s, never been married before. And the reason why it took her so long, and she's thankful of that, is because she had to fix who she was inside first. And again, letting go of that baggage in order for her to move forward. So she fell in love with herself first. And that's a lot. And that's the thing a lot of the times that we don't do, especially when we're starting over in a new chapter in our 40s in relationships. That could be hard. And for me, I can give you an example. For me, I took a bold move and to move to California, right? I'm from New York, and I took that bold move to California, but it took a while for me to do that because I was scared of what will people think, what will people say. You know, she moving, her whole life over. She has a job here. She's just going to leave that behind. She has her family here. Why? But once I, to realize like I was, and I only can do what makes me happy, I took that move. I did that. I took that leap of faith, and I'm here in California, and guess what? I'm doing fine, right? So all the fears that was stopping me before, all the burdens and all that negative thinking that I was doing, once I released that and I let that go, I was able to make this move, and I'm happy that I did it. Now, these next two changes are going to completely change everything, especially if you are struggling with change. All right. But before I dive into that, I'm going to need you to hit that subscribe button to make 2025 the best year of your life. Change number 3, have a vision/plan. Okay. Reinvention of yourself has an ultimate goal. All right. More likely, you're asking yourself, where do you see yourself in a year from now? Maybe even 5, right? Creating a vision of change/goal, you are more likely setting yourself up for success. Okay. You now have a clear vision/plan of where you see yourself, where you want to be in life. Okay. You into that and being realistic with yourself, right? Change does not happen overnight. It is a process. As long as you have a plan and you're setting yourself up with a vision, then you can take those steps towards your future and it'll motivate you. I feel like when you have something visual in your face, setting yourself up for success, the reinventing of yourself that you want, you're more likely to complete that goal because you have a reminder to self every day of what it is that you want to work on. And the reason why I'm looking that way is because I have a vision board for my 2025 and what it is that I want to accomplish. I also like to see other people have done steps that they take in their life to get to where they were, right? Because they also had to have a vision. They also had to have a plan. You get to where they are today. That strong vision, it maintains the positive outlook of you want to become and what you're going to be working so hard towards. Because, be honest, we're all human. There are days where you do feel like this is taking too long, right? Because maybe we have some setbacks in our lives that is some days from us getting to that goal, getting to, we see ourselves. But that's okay, because once you have this vision or you have this reminder on your board, when you do have those setbacks, it's just a reminder to self, like, you know what? I can't give up because this is where I want to be. And I know it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun all the time. But the most important part is that you don't give up on yourself and you have that vision, that reminder of what it is that you want to complete, right? Me moving here to California, that would have thought. Right? I had to have a vision of where I wanted to see myself when I got here to California. What was that going to look like for me? How was I going to plan this out? Right? One, I know I had to have a job. Okay, I wasn't doing anything without that. So I set myself up, put on my vision board, what comes first, right? And then I planned from there. Okay, if I get the job, this is what I want. I'm gonna get the apartment. Then from the apartment, we'll take it from there, right? And this is where I want to see myself. I want to see myself out here being successful, good job, a career, which I have now. Just living my life in my 40s, restarting all over again. When I've done my research and I've seen the way other people have done the same thing that I've done, they did the same thing. They had a plan. They had a vision. They had to layer it out. And they understood that change is not going to happen overnight and there's going to be some setbacks. And that's okay. What's not okay is if you give up, right? Because it's like you don't want to come this far. You want to come this far to see the end goal and what that vision looks like for you. And also by having that plan, you have to do your research. See what other people have done to take the steps to get into where they wanted to be. Books. Read plenty of books on, to reinvent yourself because you're actually planning. You're not just jumping into something. Because again, like I said, nothing happens overnight. You have to have a plan. But having that plan is also good with having that vision of where you see yourself. Now, this last step is important. It can really stop you from moving forward if you don't follow this step. Change number 4 is put your reinvention into action. All right. Because it's nice to have a plan, right? It is. It's really nice to have a plan. But if you're not putting it into action, then this whole exercise is useless. Quote from Tom Brady, and I'm going to read this to you. Be successful at anything. The truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. And that's being consistent, determined, and willing to do the work. And I heard this quote it hit home because there are a lot of times I have set myself up with goals, or I've seen people set themselves up with goals, and you have this new year, new me stuff. And by the time the end of January hits, we forgot about whatever it was that we were working on, and it just goes down the drain, right? Because we don't have patience with ourselves. We want things to happen overnight. And to be honest with you, slow is better. It's a process, to put in the work. You have to show up every day, even on the days that you don't feel like showing up. This change, getting out of your comfort zone and putting in that work to do what really matters to you, okay? And reinventing yourself life at 40. Okay, and like I said before, better time than now to start because you are much wiser. You've been through some things, you've learned from your mistakes, but the thing is, you just have to remember, never give up. Keep on going. Even when things are not going as planned, that's okay. Keep going. Look at that vision board. All right. Look where you want to see yourself. Just dream of yourself having this, that you already have accomplished it, right? To give you that motivation. Because once you start to put it into plan and you start to see those baby steps, those little accomplishments, those little achievements, you start to feel happy. You start to motivate you even more. Like, okay, yeah, this is working for me. Yes, I'm starting to like the new me, this person that I'm becoming. And it gives you a sense of purpose and the reason why you started all of this, okay? So, all right, my friends, I'm going to end this video here. But before I go check out my other video that I have right here. All right, this is about me giving my true opinion, review, the real deal on my Temu product.